Hey guys, welcome to the Real DVD Watchers. This week, rather than reviewing a movie, I'm actually going to review a TV show, or an episode of a TV show. I just finished watching Season 3, Episode 15 of Fringe, called Subject 13, and it acted as kind of a follow-up to the Season 2 episode, Peter. Now, I'm going to say now, if you haven't watched Fringe, or you haven't seen the episode yet, there are going to be big spoilers for what happens, so I'm just going to warn you now. So, basically, the episode, like I said, it followed on from Peter, and in that episode we got to see how Walter was able to bring Peter into our universe. And the episode that was on this week's Subject 13 followed that up by showing us that actually Peter realises straight away that he's not in his real home, he's not with his actual parents. And the actual episode starts off with Peter attempting to drown himself in Raven Lake, which is quite a shocking opening to the show. It then goes on to, we're introduced to a young version of Olivia and sort of some of the other Cortexaphone kids which Walter's experimented on and which we kind of learnt about early on in the show. So we get to see that, and one of the really interesting parts of the episode for me was the relationship between Peter and Olivia, because we find out that although, you know, they've met each other now in the timeline of the show, they knew each other back then as well, even if it was for like a brief moment. And it's a really kind of interesting aspect of the show. But the really good thing I liked about this episode was the actors that they used to play Olivia and Peter. Now I think the guy who played Pete, or the child who played Peter this time, was different to the one that played him in the original episode Peter, which, you know, is a shame. But the guy who was in this one was also really good. He did a really great job. But the girl who played Olivia was excellent. She just really felt like that character. And speaking of Olivia, you also get to see a brief kind of glimpse at the problems that she had with her stepfather, which haven't really been mentioned since season 1. So that was really cool to kind of to learn more about that. Walter in this episode is excellent. We get to see, you know, John Noble just do some excellent acting as that character. Not only do we get to see our Walter's reaction to, you know, to Peter, and also to Olivia and the problems that she has, we also get to find out how the Walter acted, you know, or you know, how he reacted, I should say, to Peter disappearing. And we see him kind of go into a dark place with alcohol and stuff. And the thing I've really loved about the show at the moment is that we're getting to see a really completely different side to Walter, and actually he's not kind of the big bad guy that we might have thought he was at the end of season 2 or at the beginning of this season. So that's something I've really loved that the show's doing. And Walter, again, you know, we knew that he'd done these horrible things by experimenting on these children. And there's a really great section of this episode where you get to see the experiment videos, or the subject testing videos, whatever you want to call it, that Walter is filming. And I love that part of the episode. You know, you get to see it's kind of filmed in, like, you know, a home video sort of way, and it looks really cool. And you get to see, you know, what starts out of these kind of nice, kind trials. Walter progressively gets a bit kind of crueler and harsher towards Olivia as it goes on. I really like the end of the episode. There's a really nice kind of twist in a way. And just the whole way that Walter reacted to that situation at the end with Olivia's stepdad was excellent. There's a lot of really great imagery in this episode with like the tulip fields and kind of some throwbacks to the older episodes. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was an excellent, you know, follow-up to Peter. It's not quite as good as Peter. It hasn't got the same kind of heart, and it's just not as an important kind of moment, I guess, in the course of the show as Peter was. But it's still, you know, really interesting, especially to see some of the alternate stuff. And I think, yeah, John Noble's the only regular cast member in this episode, whereas Peter had Olivia and that as well. So, yeah, it was a really good episode. If you haven't watched it yet, go and watch it now. If you don't watch Fringe and you're watching this video, you're probably going to be spoiled by a lot of stuff, so sorry for that. Please let me know what you thought of the episode, and yeah, thanks for watching.